pt.2 of the message. To know him is to love him. Amen? Amen. Here's a famous quote by Rig Vita. In real worship, we don't just do ritualistic worship, but we try to emulate the qualities of the one we are worshiping. We don't try to do what's called religion or do things just to be doing them. We're trying to emulate the one that we're actually worshiping. And so here we're going to teach through this series. We'll know when the God releases us, and we already starting to see the benefits of this series. We're already to see that I love how God does things to where he will take you in an area that he knows that you're prepared for. Let's give you some Bible to kind of give an understanding. He will not allow a circumstance or a trial or a situation to come your way unless you're prepared to go through that situation. Amen. And a lot of times, as it comes to teaching, as it comes to the vein that he would have us in as a church, he knows that this is an area that we're ready for. We're ready to enhance ourselves as it pertains to worship. And so let's deal with this and let's teach a little bit this morning. The word worship, according to the Webster Dictionary, is as follows. The noun form is the feeling or expression of reverence and adoration for a deity, in this case God. And the verb form shows reverence or adoration to a deity, also to honor with the conduct and character of the one that you're worshiping. That's the Webster Dictionary definition. And one thing that's very interesting about Webster, and I don't know if you knew this, Webster was born again. Webster was actually saved. And so a lot of his definitions that you see in the dictionary, he goes back and he deals with a lot of dealing with the Latin definition. He goes and connects with the Latin, he connects with the Greek a little bit. And so Webster, if you ever get an opportunity, and I'm looking for one, if anybody want to ever bless me with one, I will receive it and probably do a flip. If you can find an 1814 Webster dictionary, please let me know. Amen. That is one of the greatest dictionaries ever printed in the history of man, because that dictionary deals with more of from a Christian background. And so when you see this here, he deals with this whole thing of worship, but I want to give you the Hebrew application and the Greek. The Hebrew and Greek application for the word worship, according to an article written by Dr. Lee Campbell, it speaks to this wise. Terms that translate as worship, including the Greek word prosykio and its Hebrew equivalent shakai, both in terms refer to posture of submission and thus an acknowledgement of God's sovereignty. Obstinance requires an attitude of reverential fear. This is evident in behaviors of bending the knees and bowing down. Also, to kiss forward. Now that's a good one. What does that mean? When we are in worship, your spiritual attitude should come out in your soulish conduct. Let me slow myself down and let me teach this morning. This word here, to kiss, meaning that when you come into the presence of God and you're worshiping God, it's actually like you're meeting God and you're kissing him. Meaning that your worship should be a state of intimacy. Let's teach real good this morning. So when you come into the presence, see, I shared something with our group of pastors this morning, and we were praying, and our prayer was a different prayer than any other prayer that we have done in over a year. We've been together a little bit more than a year. And the prayer was real calm. It wasn't a lot of noise. Even the person that we asked to lead prayer, his prayer was very somber and quiet, and we were really able to feel the presence of God, and we were able to hear with clarity because there was no noise to interrupt what the Spirit was saying. And so let me make it plain for you all. Think in a natural sense, if you're a husband and a wife, or you're a parent with a child, or you're a brother and sister, when you embrace and kiss someone, is there any noise? No, sir. Is there any talking? No. Part of your process of worship is to get to a place to be able to hear. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait a minute. Let me get to a place. Stand up, D. Get to a place to be able to feel the presence of God. Now notice now, God will adjust to your height.
Come on, Pastor.
He will come down to your level that you can be cheek to cheek, ear to ear. Come on, mouth to mouth, spirit to spirit. So, what we're trying to enhance you with in this series is to try to make this whole thing worship tangible for you. Make it plain for you, because a lot of times in church we preach so spiritual that we miss what God is doing in what he made. Ah, man. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I just gave you the definition that part of the definition of worship is the bending of the knee. Why is it important to bow down before God? Why is it important to bend your knee? Because it's showing a natural state of reverence. It's showing, watch this. One definition is to lay prostrate. Why is that important? Because when you come before the king, his presence is so rich that you can do nothing but lay before him. And so we have to connect the spiritual side of worship to the natural side. God will always give you, come on, I want to give this to you. He will always give you tangible evidence to the thing that you don't see. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. It is the evidence of what you don't see. Watch this. Look around. Y'all look around. Everybody look around. Do anybody in this room see God right now? But the evidence of his presence is here. Let me give you another natural situation to make it make sense to you. Okay. Did anybody come in from outside? Did you have to go outside to get here today? Amen. Okay, so you had to go out in the elements. All right. By chance, did anyone feel the wind blowing? Amen. But do you see the wind? No, sir. But you feel the effects of the wind. It's the same with the presence of God. Now watch this. In the natural, I'm going to use Mama. When Mama came into church this morning, her hair was blue. You could tell that the wind got in her hair. Right? She came in my office and she was like, look, I've been outside. Now watch this. There should be some evidence on you that the presence is here. Amen. Come on, Pastor. Come on. There should be some evidence that his presence is moving when I just got hit with the wind. There should be some evidence that the wind is so strong